What's up, Broncos country? It is game day. That's right. My name is Kevin. Welcome to Denver Broncos No BS, home of the Tailgate Talk Show, guys. I am glad to be here with you today. If you don't know me, my name is Kevin, and here at the show, I want to hear from you all. What are your thoughts on today's game? What are you looking for? What matchups are you excited about? And at the end of the show, we'll share our score predictions, and I will hear from your guys as well, your score predictions. We're going to break down some of the news in terms of the inactives for both the Broncos and the Chargers, and I'll share for you all what I'm looking for in today's game as well. So thanks for tuning in. Make sure you hit that share button, guys. It is just me today, so help me out by hitting the share button. Hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel. That helps us out a ton. But guys, let's get ready for it. Broncos and Chargers, 1 hour away. Let's get into it.
Orange Weekly, fans, brews, and Broncos news.
How's it going, everybody? We got Anthony. We got Uga. How you doing in here? Howdy, howdy, howdy. We got another Facebook user. Sorry, I don't know what your name is. Let me know what your name is. And Facebook user. Smash that like button, everybody. I'm guessing you're Clayton. That sounds like a Clayton comment. Glad you're all here. Let me know what you guys are thinking about today's game. Really quickly, guys, Bourbon Broncos, no BS. After last week's game, I definitely need a little bit of bourbon to help me get through the worriness I've had of this week's game. And not that we're getting paid by them or anything, but guys, make sure if you want a good whiskey and a good bourbon to check out, especially if you're a diehard Broncos fan and you want to really find a way to maybe add a little bit of extra good luck charm to your game day experience, man, the Breckenridge Brewery Champions Blend, guys, make sure you check this stuff out. It is delicious. I'm drinking it right now. I drink it every game day, basically. And hey, it's been really good the last few weeks, except for last weekend, obviously. But guys, this Broncos team is on fire, and you guys want good whiskey and good bourbon? Check this out. Broncos, the Champions Blend from Breckenridge Brewery, guys. That's where to go. Okay, let's see. Back to work, ground and pound. So let's just start off with the good news, guys. Good news for the Broncos that we were all waiting to see what would actually happen. And Samaje Perine is active today. Okay, we were all waiting to see would he really be active? Are they going to throw him on the inactives list at the last second? But no, he is there. He is ready to play. He is active. Some of the other names on the Broncos inactives list: JL Skinner, Tyler Batty, Nate Atkins, the tight end there. We're not going to see him today. Elijah Garcia. Really, just a lot of those depth players. There's no one there on the Broncos inactives list that is really a cause for any sort of concern whatsoever. However, looking at the Chargers inactives, safety JT Woods, you got their tight end Stone Smart, a little, on the depth chart there. So they're not really missing anyone too terribly either. However, look, the Broncos are playing for their playoff lives. The Chargers are too, but they're a game behind us. And let's face it, I'm fully expecting the stadium out there to be just 90% blue and orange, like the Broncos blue and orange, not this powdery blue, sky blue, soft little nice color blue that the Chargers wear. No, this is going to be a home game for the Broncos, more or less. And if you're out there or anybody that's out there at the game, text them, let them know. This is me telling them as well. Get loud when the Broncos defense is on the field. Just incompletes left and right. I want to hear that over the TV. I want to hear how loud you are. I want to hear the stomping. It's going to be great. We can really just throw off the Chargers game by making it known that they are not in any sort of friendly territory and really boost up our guys' morale for sure. Steve Jackson, how you doing? Houston is losing. That's right. Let's take a look around the NFL real quickly at some of the other games that we're really watching closely. The first one, let's see. Lions at Bears. Okay, it doesn't really do anything for our playoff chances, but Bears are currently winning 25-13 against the Lions. Knowing that we got the Lions next week, man, if the Bears can beat the Lions are pretty beatable. And yes, the Lions currently have a 9-3 record, but kind of like Miami, you look at the teams they've beat a lot of bad teams, and the 3 losses were against good teams. So look, Broncos probably have a fair chance to go and look at that game next week. Bengals and Colts, man, if both teams could lose, that'd be great, but primarily the Colts because they do have that better record of 7-5. Bengals are 6-6, but Bengals are up 31-14. That would make both teams 7-6 and help out the Broncos there. Now, the Jaguars are going to throw this one away for the Broncos. I don't trust the Jags to help us out against the Browns, which is okay because we have the tiebreaker of the Browns. The Browns are 7-5, and we are hoping to go to 7-6 after today's game. So it'd be nice if the Browns lost today, but look, still another 4 weeks of regular season left after this. The other big game, Jets at the Texans. The Texans are losing 24-6 with only 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter, guys. That is a huge one for us. That, I don't want to say nullifies last week's loss against the Texans, but that helps us out a ton and really sets them back. Look, they would still have the tiebreaker, assuming the Broncos win today and the Texans lose, which is what it looks like. We would both be 7-6 again. Texans would have that tiebreaker, but we're on even footing there, right? We're no longer a game behind them at that point. Obviously, we're going to want the Vikings to beat the Raiders today. We're also going to be looking at the Bills to upset the Chiefs. That would be a huge, huge win for the Broncos as well. And I do want to throw a quick thank you to the Patriots for absolutely embarrassing the Steelers out in Pittsburgh too, in no other lesser place. It's fantastic. So the Steelers dropping to 7-6 is huge for the Broncos as well. Look, right now the Broncos still do need some help from other teams and outside sources. But first things first, they have to take care of business themselves. They have to win these games. So look, and Steve, the reason I brought this up is because we are in December and we actually care about what other games end up in because it's going to impact us in a, hopefully positive way. But this is a situation that Broncos country really hasn't been in I would say at least 10 years, because even with the Peyton Manning era, we were always fighting for that number 1, number 2 seed. We weren't really looking at, the wild card mess of, these teams need to lose and we need to win, So this is very unfamiliar territory for the Broncos. So what I'm going to say to fans who maybe don't remember that, or maybe you're a newer fan of football, just remember, guys, that the way this is looking right now, the AFC is really muddy, especially when it comes to those wild card slots. All these teams are really close to each other. So if you're sitting there saying, well, what can the Broncos do to secure a playoff spot this week or next week? I'm telling you right now, it's not going to happen. We're going to have to wait until the final week of the season is my prediction. We're going to have to wait till the final game of week 18 probably to figure out, did the Broncos make it to the playoffs or not? Just because everyone's so close. And we might be just on the edge and just not quite have made it. But hey, that's a really great spot to be in compared to, being a 5-12 team last year. You know what I mean? So look, we've already won more games this year than we did last year, and we still have 5 games to go. And we are looking really good. Okay, let's get back to some more of these comments, guys. Steve, thanks for that. That's just a little quick trip around the NFL, but let's get back to what the NFL or what the Broncos are looking for today. I had D-man to a man-to-man, a few play QB spies and stunts and twists and blitz our linebackers. I love it. I think what you're really going to see is some similarities to what was working last week against CJ Stroud. Like, Herbert is not the same caliber quarterback as CJ Stroud. He's just not. Herbert is 50 for 50 over his career. He's been a very big disappointment, no matter how much, the media, the sports media tends to kiss his ass, and really suck up to him and lick his boots. I don't know why they do that every year. They keep saying that the Chargers are going to be the next best thing since sliced bread. And then every year the Chargers are Charger and they find a way to blow it. And that's what we're seeing the Chargers do again this year. So look, that doesn't mean that the Broncos can just go in there and skate by and not really have to try. The Broncos have struggled historically out in LA, right? SoFi Stadium in general. I'm not even going to bring up last year's Christmas Day game against the Rams because I don't want to get sick right now. But what you're going to see, I think, is similar in wanting to try and throw Herbert off his game like we wanted to do against CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud was just able to hold his composure in a way that I haven't seen a rookie quarterback do, and I don't even know since when, right? Herbert, I think, we can get back there. And, we've shown that our defensive line and our pass rush can get back there. And if, we can really shut down the Chargers run game, put the game on the back of Herbert throwing the ball, and I trust our secondary. Okay. Man to man, I just don't think you're going to see, you're not going to see that. no matter what happens, you're just, Vance Joseph just keeps running that zone coverage, and it bugs the hell out of me because you see it's that bend but don't break mentality, right? So are there going to be some QB spies? I hope so, because we got to make sure that Herbert can't, scramble for 15, 20 yards down the field left and right. But we also have to make sure that we have good coverage on the backside to stop the Chargers that way as well. Let's see. Playoffs atmosphere, baby. Hell yeah, I love it. Let's get that dub. We're going to get that dub. Not only a win, but a divisional win as well. Jerry, how you doing? Good to see you here, buddy. Daughter's a Chargers fan. Hey, look, nobody's perfect. I'm sure you tried your best as a dad. No judgment here whatsoever. Maybe she'll grow up a little bit more, become more mature, see the error in her ways, and become a Broncos fan, right? So, look, if she's upset, just be like, that's your own fault for choosing the Chargers over the Broncos. I don't know. It's like choosing to be I don't even know. It's like choosing to be a Lions fan back where they're terrible. Finally, they're good, but I don't know, Jerry. Just make sure you remind her, ask if her phone is fully charged, and see how she reacts. Test the water, So, if the Broncos win, hey, honey, is your phone charged? You need some charging, whatever. I don't know. I'm bad at jokes. 4 sacks, 1 pick, 2 forced fumbles, ton of hurries, and we are flying the ball. Now, here is where I'm going to disagree with that a little bit. I really hope you're right in that. I really do. Sacks, especially. I only think we're going to get 1 turnover today. But what I think you're going to see is the Broncos offense finally saw that they just cannot rely on the defense to come through and get 3, 4, 5 turnovers to save their butts. The offense has to go out there and play for more than, a quarter of the game. They have to be able to go out there and be consistent. One thing to watch for, everybody, and I'll talk about it on the Halftime Hash Show. Make sure you join us here back at halftime. One thing to note is Sean Payton has mentioned one change he's going to be making to this game. Sean Payton, just the way he has always done business, especially if you're looking at this year, obviously we know that the first 10 or 12 plays, whatever, are scripted before the game, right? You're testing the other team's defense, seeing what kind of matchups and player personnel they're putting on the field for your design plays and everything like that, and seeing what works and what doesn't work. Well, the same thing happens in halftime. But what Sean Payton has done, and I think most coaches probably do, is they draft the scripted plays for after halftime before the game even starts. Okay. And what we're seeing with the Broncos historically through this season is right before halftime and right after halftime, you can just count on the Broncos offense to do absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. There's probably some, here or there, I'm sure they're forgetting about a couple things that, are outliers or don't fit in that example. But I'd say 90% of the time, we know, especially after halftime, Broncos are going to come out and just totally fall flat on their face. And it's probably going to take the whole of the third quarter, if not at least a couple drives, for them to get going again, right? So what Sean Payton is doing is he's going to spend halftime drafting and creating those scripted plays for us to come out at halftime with, and hoping, knowing that, okay, here's what we're seeing from the game so far. Here's what we know is working. Here's the feel for the game. Here's the situation we're in. Maybe we're down a little bit. Maybe we're up a lot, or maybe up a little bit, whatever the case is. And he is going to use that to influence how he scripts the plays going out into halftime. So, look, this could work. Maybe the Broncos come out at halftime and roll down the field and score a touchdown. That would be music to my ears. Right. On the flip side, it can't get any worse than it's been. Like, let's say Coach Payton does this and the Broncos go out there and they go 3 and out after halftime. And the drive after that, they go 3 and out. Well, that's what they've done already all season. So it can't get any worse. Right. So I'm just hoping to see some progress from that there. Hey, guys, remember, hit that subscribe button for me. Hit that like button. Hit the share button. Definitely appreciate all of your support there. Steve, what's up? Going to wear my DT jersey today for good luck. I love it, man. I got mine upstairs. Probably going to throw that on, but definitely want to make sure I'm repping the Russ look, because I don't know about you guys, I'm believing in Russ today. I know a lot of people were super angry about last game. People were calling immediately for Russ to get benched, get fired, get cut, blah, 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 blah. It's all the Russ haters that were very, very, very quiet for a solid 6 weeks there during our run on the winning streak there. All of a sudden they came out of the woodwork in full power and were utterly annoying. And yeah, I'm talking, if any of you out there were calling for Russell Wilson to get fired and benched and cut after last week's game, I'm talking to you. Okay. That's ridiculous. Look at what he's done over the course of that win streak. Look at what he's done over the season. He's ranked in the top half of quarterbacks, in the top third. And that's kind of where we want him. We're not asking him to go out there and win us these games all by himself, right? We need him to be safe with the football, not necessarily take huge chances, and rely on our defense to at least keep us close in those games so that when it's time for us to need to make those chances, Russ can then go do that. Okay. Russ can have a bounce back game. I really do believe that. I think you're going to see, and here's my prediction. I said on the pregame podcast, which you guys can still go check out and listen to before the start of the game. It's only about 30 minutes long. iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher. Make sure you guys check that out. The Bourbon Broncos No BS pregame podcast. But my prediction is very first throw that Russell makes is going to be to Jerry Jeudy. I hope I'm right. But anyway, I think you're going to see Jerry Jeudy getting several looks today because of how big an issue it was, not just with the media, but with hearing Coach Payton say things like, looking at the tape, there were 2 or 3 of those big play situations in which Jerry Jeudy was wide open and the ball was thrown away or, just whatever the case was. So I definitely think you're going to see a lot more Jerry Jeudy interaction today. And this is his chance to put up or shut up. Look, I know Jerry Jeudy is frustrated. He's getting open. He's not necessarily getting those looks. But if he starts getting those looks and he doesn't reel in those balls, he's just, we're going to go right back to Cortland Sutton. So I think you're going to see us go to Jerry Jeudy often. We're going to test the Chargers defense against Jerry Jeudy often. And if he can reel in a couple of these catches early on, I think we're going to have a real good game. If not, doesn't mean that we're going to have a bad game. It just means Jerry Jeudy is going to go back to essentially not getting any looks for the rest of the game. So we'll see, but that's my prediction there. Let's see. Jets are killing Houston. Yes. What is the update of the score here? Last I saw, but going to refresh this page for everybody. Thought we were in the 21st century. Come on, load ESPN. Yes, but last I saw, Jets are beating the Texans pretty nicely, 27-6 now. 4.5 minutes left in that game. That's probably pretty safely put away at this point. So thank you to Nathaniel Hackett and the Jets for doing something we couldn't do. And maybe that's just taking the Texans seriously, but Texans are going to lose this one. They're going to drop to 7-6, and hopefully after today, we're going to do the same thing. Jags still have a little bit of time. They're only down by 2 touchdowns, 12.5 minutes left, but Browns are currently driving there. And they've been able to score a touchdown in every single quarter. So not really happy about that one. The other big one, obviously, is Bills and Chiefs. Chiefs are still the team to beat, but as somebody said, I can't remember who it was. I said the Chiefs are the team to beat still, but they are the most beatable they've ever been. So, really hoping for the Chiefs to be able to drop a couple games there as well. That would be fantastic. Anthony, definitely an understatement, man. This is no time to play around. Okay. We can maybe get away with dropping the game against the Lions. Okay. Maybe. We're going to need a whole lot of extra help if we drop the game to the Lions. But these divisional games, both Chargers, the Raiders again, right? These last 5 games, they are must wins for the Broncos. I don't care. I know some of the other guys here at Orange Weekly say differently. The Bourbon Broncos No BS show, we talked about that on Tuesday night. So John feels a little differently about some of these games, not necessarily must wins. They're very vitally important, but I'm sitting here saying these are essentially playoff games. The Broncos are more or less in the playoffs. And so at the end of the day, guys, what I'm really looking for here, we can talk about matchups and everything like that. I'm going to catch up to some of your comments here in just a second, but end of the day, guys, one thing that the Broncos lacked the most last week, which is why I think what was the underlying cause for the Broncos to lose, was they did not show up, one, wanting to prove to the NFL that they wanted to be in the playoffs, and 2, did not play like they deserved to be in the playoffs. Lots of little details that were just missed, not clean. The defense held us in there. I'm not trying to take anything away from that. Like, we had a chance to win at the end of the game. Okay. but there were just some little details that the defense just did not look as crisp and clean as they did during that 5-game win streak. So I think over this last week, if I was Sean Payton and knowing what Sean Payton is big on, which is details, he was probably really hammering in the details and needing to pay attention to those. Alex Singleton, do not let yourself, none of these players, do not let yourself get emotionally overwhelmed, right? We all know that this is an emotional game. Both teams are going to come out there very fired up because both teams are in the playoff hunt. You cannot allow that to influence how you react to the other team's players after the whistle is done, right? Once that whistle is blown, you have got to walk away. You cannot get in the face of the opposing team's quarterback and expect to walk away without getting a penalty against you, okay? Even if the other quarterback started it. You just can't. So I think there's just a lot of lessons that we learned this last week, and hopefully, not to say that we hit rock bottom with that, but we have hit rock bottom this season, right? And we've seen these guys dig themselves out of it. This isn't nearly as bad of a situation as it was earlier on when we found ourselves 1-5, but I think it's the same mentality. We've got to dig ourselves out of this hole. We took a step back. We've got to make up that ground. And it starts today with winning this game. And it starts by sending a message to the NFL that not only do we want to be in the playoffs, we are going to play and show you why we deserve to be in the playoffs. This isn't just the old Broncos team of the last 5, 6, 7 years that crumbles, as soon as there's any adversity thrown their way. This is a team that is, going to fight till the very end. And it'd be nice to see us kind of have a more secure win, and I'll give you my score prediction here at the end of the show. But either way, we just need to go out there and we need to fight and play clean football, play consistent football. And doesn't mean that it has to result in a touchdown every single drive. The score doesn't need to be 42-0. But as long as we're playing smart, we're bending but not breaking on defense. The offense is going out there and at least being consistent and moving the ball, taking time off the clock, maybe settling for field goals instead of touchdowns, but at least we're getting field goals, putting some points on the board. That's going to be huge for today's game. It's all the things that the Broncos offense struggled with last week, right? So defense just needs to clean it up. Offense has got to play like they're not expecting the defense to get 3, 4, 5 turnovers. They've got to go out there and play, assuming that they have to, drive the ball down the field 4, 5, 6, 7 times to be able to get 21 to 24 points, right? And then let the defense take over from there. Okay. Start throwing out some score predictions, everybody. It is time for score predictions. Remember, here at Bourbon Broncos No BS, if your score prediction is right, with the caveat of you bet that the Broncos are going to win, and you guess the score prediction right, we're going to send you some awesome Bronco swag, some awesome Orange Weekly swag. We've only had to do it once before. Really hoping this is another week where we get to do it again. So as you put your score prediction, if you know you were right at the end of the game and say the Broncos win and you're like, that was my score prediction, please send us a message. Let us know. Hey guys, here's a screenshot of my comment. I was right. Hey, where's my stuff? And we will be more than happy to send you some Broncos and Orange Weekly swag. So we got Derek here, Broncos 27, Chargers 17. I love it. Jerry, a little more on the positive side for the Broncos offense, or at least putting up more points, 32-17. Thinking the Chargers are really going to struggle there. I like that between the two of them. Steve, if we can get Sutton and Judy on the same page in the same game. Oh, you're telling me, man. You are telling me, and I'm dying to see it, right? If the other team has to worry about Jerry Jeudy as much, as they have to worry about Courtland Sutton, that is really going to open up, I think, a lot of opportunities for Russ and the pass game, and really open up the run game as well, which, again, Samaje Perine's there today. I'm really excited to see the type of energy he brings back. I think we were really missing that last week. We were really missing the impact he had on the field last week. So I expect him to get 6, 7 carries today, probably 2 or 3, at least, chances throwing the ball to him. And we'll see what he does. But he is a huge part of the offense, and him not being there last week or not having as big a role last week, probably because of whatever injury he was kind of dealing with, or the game plan or combination of whatever. We definitely missed him. He was a huge piece last week that we weren't seeing. So having him this week's going to be great. Again, yeah, if you have a DT jersey on, man, put that on. And mile high salute from all of us here Bourbon Broncos no BS to Demaryius Thomas. Man, what a man. And I am sad I never got to meet him. But if you've ever seen, like the stories Peyton Manning would tell about Demaryius Thomas and how, Demaryius would like play with Peyton Manning's kids on the airplane. He'd go over and to his house, and Peyton Manning's kids would run up to him, just so excited to see him, and he'd play with them and stuff like that. Like, this was a man who just really loved others. And it's just so sad to see kind of, how his life ended and whatnot. But the impact he had on his teammates and his community, his family, and his friends was phenomenal. So we miss him, hope the Broncos maybe eventually retire his number or something like that. We'll see. It's a very tough thing to get your number retired in the NFL, but this is a man that will be in Broncos legacy forever. So, man, love it. I miss him, love him. And get that DT jersey on. Andrew, 24-21, expecting a much closer game. Okay. I hope it doesn't come down to that close, but Broncos scoring 24 would probably secure a win for us. Anthony, 27-16 Broncos. There we go. Cindy, glad to see you here. It's terrible. The fans call for Russ to be benched. They sure weren't happy we were winning. Yeah, so the Russ haters weren't necessarily happy that we were winning. They just didn't have anything to complain about Russ doing while we were winning. So they might have said that they're happy we're winning, but really on the inside, they're like, I really want to complain about Russell Wilson, but he hasn't thrown an interception in 4 weeks now, 4 straight games. There's been no interceptions, and I can't be upset about it. And then he has a bad game because he's human, like the rest of us, and they all came out of the woodwork. So look, guys, get behind this team. The next time you have a bad day at work and you screw something up, man, let me know so that I can call you and just lay into you and say, man, I know you haven't screwed up in weeks or months or years, but guess what? You had a terrible day and you should be fired and they should get rid of you. And how would that feel? Right. So shut up. Right. Cindy, I'm right there with you. Quick score update, everyone. Jets 30, Texans 6, 1 minute left to go there. Loving that. Jaguars, Browns Jaguars still losing 14-28, but the Jaguars have the ball. 9.5 minutes left there. So that game's not necessarily over yet. It'd be great to see the Jaguars come away with a last minute win there, but we'll see. And also, again, Lions are losing pretty handily to the Bears. That game's pretty much over. That score is 28-13 with 3 minutes left. Bears looks like they're going to take that one away from the Lions. And man, the Lions got to worry because they got us coming up next week. And we are hungry for a win. The Bears just want to win a game. They're going to progress to 5-8. Lions will drop to 9-4, and Broncos are be coming down into town next week, hungry and desperate for a win, just like they are now. So those are some big games going on right now, guys, that we're looking at. And Judy time. Let's see him do it. Let's see him do it good. Andrew Stroud out with an injury. Yeah, he's been battling something for a while there, but we even saw last week, even with a little bit of injury, he's dangerous. So that's definitely impacting them. And look, I'm never advocating for a player to get hurt. Obviously I hope he's okay. He's very talented, young quarterback there. But if this is the result and it helps the Broncos out, then okay. Obviously as long as it's not like a major serious injury there. Yep. This is a weird week. So hopefully the Broncos don't fall into that category. Like, how did the Broncos lose to the Chargers, right? Hopefully that's not what we're talking about here later on. Shane, how you doing? Let's get this W. Exactly, Jerry. We have got to want it. We're not just going to go out there and expect the Chargers. Look, I, as a fan, get to expect the Chargers to charger. Like, I get to wait for that, right? As a player, you don't get to wait for that. You don't get to hope that happens. You got to go out there and take care of business. And again, show the NFL that, hey, we are the Broncos and we deserve to be in the NFL or in the NFL playoffs. And here's why. Shane, if we win, I don't know, man. Just, it depends on scheduling and timing and everything, probably not, just to be honest with you, we'll probably do the post-game podcast show tomorrow night, myself and one of the other guys. So look out for that, plus it gives us some time to really look at everything that's happened and being said about the team and any injuries or what that means and get you guys a much better product than just some quick reaction shows. Now, look, I will say to the other Broncos podcasts out there that do post-game shows immediately after the game, I know they do a great job. So maybe, if you see one of those, definitely stop by and say hi. and enjoy their content as well. They might have a different viewpoint than we do here, but I know they put out good products as well. And I could list all of them, but I don't have time for that. So, but I know there are other shows that do post-game shows as well. So make sure you check that out. Anthony, play smart football. That cannot be stressed enough. That really cannot be stressed enough today. Again, not expecting the Chargers to turn the ball over much, if at all. And we have got to follow that up with the same type of protecting the football mentality. Let's see. Yeah, Shane, like I said, probably not, but we'll let you know if we do one. Steve, 24-17 Denver. I like these scores of like keeping the Chargers to 17 points. Like that sounds like our defense, Kellen, how you doing? 6-24 Broncos, of course, man. If we can keep the Chargers to just 6, hell yeah. I love this thinking that, Broncos are probably going to score more than 20, more than 21. Lots of 24 predictions out there for the Broncos. And that's good, right? Like, if your defense can keep the opposing team to 20 points or less, you should win 95% of those games, right? The Broncos don't have to go out there and put 45 points up on the board to win this game. The defense has to do their part, and the offense just needs to go out there and not turn the ball over, move the ball efficiently, and score more than 21 points. And I think we're going to win this game if that happens. So right there with you, Kellen. Glad to see you on the show. Glad to have you here. Shane, 24-17 Broncos. I love it. I love it. Shane, another comment. If you love the show, please hit that share bell and like button. Guys, yes, we're starting to wrap up the show here. If you don't mind helping me out, go to the YouTube page, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, hit the like button wherever you're watching this, hit the share button. That helps us out a ton, and we love all your support. Let's win this one for DT. Definitely hope that we do and we follow through for him there. Yeah, thanks again, Shane. I definitely appreciate it. Make sure everybody out there is sharing the video. As we get close to the end of the show here, I start wrapping up the comments. Guys, make sure you're back for the halftime hash show. We'll be here live, breaking down everything we saw from the first half, breaking down some more of the scores from the games across the league, and what that means for the Broncos as well. But again, the Broncos just need to take care of business for themselves to start off with. Allison, good to see you here. 28-21 Denver Broncos. I love the score predictions. Shane, my favorite day of the week is Sundays for football and watching you Tuesdays for the Broncos. Hey, man, try to make it, try to add another fun day of Broncos content for you guys there. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Appreciate it. And Allison says, Andrew, he's being evaluated for concussion. Gotcha. So I said, hopefully CJ Stroud's fine. I'm not wishing any type of ill will on him, but look, injuries are part of the football game. And if it means that one team loses in part because of an injury and it helps the Broncos out in that way, then I'm not going to complain, other than I just hope sincerely that CJ Stroud is okay. Okay, guys, we're going to wrap that up here. We're about 30 minutes away from kickoff, less than that, 20 minutes away from kickoff for Broncos versus Chargers in LA, but hopefully we see a lot of orange and a lot of incomplete chants and a lot of foot stopping and even more yelling and screaming when the Broncos defense is on the field. I want to make this, man, if you're out there, and again, if you know anyone out there, you text them, you tell them, get loud, right? Do it. Okay, guys, I will be back here at halftime. I'm going to end this with my score prediction, guys. I'm kind of in line with a lot of you. But my score prediction for this week, Broncos 24, Chargers 13. I'm waiting for it. It's going to be great. So, hey, guys, enjoy the game. I'll see you at halftime. Make sure you grab your drink. If you need it, go grab a drink really quickly. Make sure you check out some of this Breckenridge Brewery Broncos Champions blend. So, hey, guys, take care. Go Broncos. And let's hope we hear a lot of this today, Andrew. Awesome. Take care, everyone. And as always, go Broncos.
Do what I like, yeah, do what I like, yeah, do what I like. Sipping goose, if it's right, and I go with the flow, yeah, I go with the flow, yeah, I go with the flow, cause I know I'm the show. In the zone, here I go, in the zone, here I go, in the zone, here I go, yeah, they know I'm a pro.